That's it.
Watch where you're stepping, damn it. If you have a moment, there's something I'd like to discuss with you.
Of course. What's on your mind?
Thank you. This isn't a formal meeting. I simply want to clear the air. I think we may have gotten off on the wrong foot when we first met, and I feel like I owe you an apology. Expecting you to embrace the standards of the Brotherhood without having a history with us was unfair. And given that you've adjusted so well to our beliefs, I don't think I needed to push so hard.
That's very kind. Thank you.
Well, you deserve it. When I was an initiate, my sponsor was Paladin Krieg, toughest squad leader I ever served with. He was a model soldier, embodying the values every trainee was striving to achieve. Fiercely loyal, secure in his beliefs, and brave to a fault. From the moment I was assigned to his squad, I was singled out. It felt like he was pushing me harder than the rest of the team. I fought by his side for years, and we had some seriously close calls. But he never explained to me why I was treated that way.
It sounds like he was trying to motivate you.
If he was, I never got a chance to ask. After I was promoted to Paladin, and I'd moved on to my own squad, I received word that Krieg was killed at Adams Air Force Base. The news was like being kicked in the stomach. I mean, I'd lost some of my brothers and sisters before, but his death, well, it really got to me. It's taken me a long time to realize it. But the reason Krieg was so tough on me is the same reason I'm so tough on you. It's because I believe in you. And I don't want to see any of your potential go to waste.
I'm flattered that you have so much faith in me.
You've earned that faith by your own hand. Well, I've said what I had to say, and I hope that it meant something to you. I trust you'll keep this in confidence, of course. Some of that information was of a personal nature, and, well, I'd like to keep it that way.
detective we sent for?
Yes, I'm the detective.
Oh, thank goodness. Let me just open the door for you. Well, it's about time the police sent someone out to investigate. We have many important residents, and they're very worried.
I'm here now. We'll get to the bottom of this.
I cannot tell you what a relief it is, Detective. I've learned the moods of our patrons well enough to tell you the tensions are high. They're at the crime scene again. Don't they realize that they're going to disturb the evidence? You'd better come with me, Detective.
This space is far too organized.
Do you not see the glorious defeat, the artistry?
What the hell is wrong with you?
Excuse me?
Ezra, you have outdone yourself. This is your finest work. There is more emotion in his death than most have had in their entire lives.
Our friend is dead, Mr. Avita. Have you no respect?
I just said that at least he had the decency to make a spectacle of it. There is nothing
Please,
worse
if
than
I may.
That's what
I
this
could
is to
just
you?
have your attention.
You're sick.
I'm sorry for shouting. But the detective has arrived and shall begin the investigation henceforth. Please return to your rooms until the detective has examined the crime scene and had a chance to come speak with you. Have a look at the crime scene for clues. When you're ready, we can discuss your findings. You are free to question the residents, but their safety is our priority. So unless you have solid evidence, I would avoid accusations.
Looks like the brain enclosure was smashed. Is this blood? Perfect. Baseball bat. What is this doing here? Red paint?
protect and serve.
Hello again, Detective. Was there anything else?
Your residents are robots.
Not robots, Detective. Well, not exactly, anyway. I believe the term they use is robo-brain. Back before the war, the residents decided the best way to wait it out was to put their brains inside robotic chassis. Was there anything else?
Tell me about the victim.
Mr. Ezra Parker was the primary owner and financier for the hotel. He had vast experience managing venture projects around the world. It was his idea to have our premier clients become investors in the vault section of the hotel. He worked with Vault Tech to have this built to their every specification. Was there anything else?
I found the murder weapon.
Oh no. That's the bat from Mr. McKinney's movie. You don't think he could be involved, do you? I can't imagine him ever doing such a thing. Was there anything else?
I'm not sure where I should start.
I suppose you should try to figure out how he died, and then who had the means and motive to kill him. Once you have enough evidence, then I suppose you'll need to confront the killer. Was there anything else?
Never mind.
I'll be here should you need me.
Why'd you do it, Mom? He deserved better than that.
You think I'm stupid? I saw the way he looked at you. You're gonna tell me that's nothing?
It wasn't like that. We were
Please, we were assigned to the same
friends.
team.
He helped me out of a tight
learn a
spot
lot
or
from
two
each
and
other.
all.
I couldn't stand by like some pasty-faced Percy while he put the moves on my best girl.
But now the law is on our team. What are we going to do?
Come away with me. Let's leave this dark hole of a city behind. We can be in Buenos Aires by tomorrow.
Oh, I want to believe you, I do, but never let us go.
Then we'll make our stand here. I've got a gun for each of us.
No, 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 no. The line is, then we'll make our stand here. Two lovers together with a bullet for each of them.
God, why can't I ever get that line? Forget it. I can't do this right now.
Ugh, fine. I'm going to the beach.
Hello, detective. How can I help? Did you have questions about the case?
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
It's obviously Santiago. He keeps going back to look at the crime scene.
I found your baseball bat at the crime scene. Care to explain how it got there?
Someone is clearly trying to frame me for the murder. It's probably Santiago. You saw him skulking around the crime scene.
What were you and Gilda talking about when I walked in?
Oh, we were just rehearsing a scene. Nothing to worry about.
Maybe later.
Okay. Just let me know how I can help.
devotee at the arts. Does that cruel muse call you to her entrapping bosom?
Art is life. Without it, we are no different than animals.
Perhaps, if all we are is a sentience floating in a suit of flesh, or metal, I suppose, then art is the only true communion with the world. Come with me. Tell me, what does this piece say to you?
It's about composition, the balance of colors and emotions, and the struggle to maintain internal order.
Indeed. This was the last piece I did in a series of portraits of Gilda. Number 1378. Her emotional landscape is superimposed on the portrait. The reality of the subject is distorted as the ego attempts to project itself. This way. Tell me, what does this one say to you?
It's the war. Bombs from every direction, no up or down, the world turned on its head.
I suppose in a way it must be. Art shapes the world, and the world shapes art in return. All art must therefore be constantly reborn through the lens of contextual and historic interpretation. We must assail. And what about this one? And please be honest, for art without honesty is just politics.
It's cute, I guess. Some people like that kind of thing.
More than you would imagine. Truth be told, this is my best-selling piece. I did this series under a pseudonym, of course. This series has made more money than any of my serious works. And I take the whole thing as a lark. What does that tell you about the value of art to the common man? My fellow connoisseur of the art. Here to see my latest work.
I found red paint at the crime scene. Know anything about that?
No, actually. Ezra borrowed my last cannon. Now I can't find it.
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
The person you should be looking at is Juliana Riggs. That Philistine would not know art from her own excrement. She and Ezra had a rather dramatic fight recently. You could hear her banshee screeches all the way across the hotel.
What were Juliana and Ezra arguing about?
I don't know. I was painting at the time and I was trying to block it out. Though I bet Gilda probably heard them. Maybe you should check with her.
I think you should explain why you keep returning to the crime scene.
It's for inspiration, detective. The others do not like to think about it, but even we shall die someday. Like Prometheus' torch, it kindles within me the fire to create as much art as I can with the time that I have.
It sounds like you've done a lot of paintings of Gilda. Why her?
Our Gilda is a very singular creature, detective. Do you not see the joie de vivre from within her? I have never met another who clings to life so tenaciously, who lives so in the moment. I must admit I was quite smitten with her for a time.
You're still in love with Gilda, aren't you?
So what if I am? What business is it of yours? She deserves someone who truly understands her ephemeral beauty, not that broke actor.
Maybe later.
Good. I hope my paintings are able to open your mind to new possibilities.
Hello, Mr. Whiskers. Who's a pretty kitty?
Juliana, Mr. Whiskers died last month. This is Scruffy. Remember?
Oh, of course. Silly me.
Just let me have a look at the neural interface matrix, and I'm sure I can clear that.
No. No, it's not that. I've just caught another goal. Probably something that got in when they sent Pearl out.
Oh,
Searching through it could prove
not this
beneficial.
again. Last month you were convinced you had the measles.
You're not a doctor. What would you even know about it? Besides, I think it may be malaria.
First of all, I am a doctor.
Yes, but not a real doctor. Robotics isn't an actual medical degree.
Secondly, I've told you time and again, You can't get sick inside the suit. It's not physically possible.
I know when I'm getting sick, Bert. Now why don't you just wander off and play in your lab? Mr. Scrothy and I are going to rewrite the will, so he will get everything when I die because horrible Bert didn't believe me.
Oh, God, Juliana. Whatever. I'm going to the lab. Detective, did you need something?
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
Oh, well, that's not really my field of expertise, but I'm sure there are probably some clues at the crime scene. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
I heard that Juliana and Ezra had an argument a few days before he was found dead. Tell me about that.
Well, I was in my lab at the time, so I didn't hear it. But Juliana has always been rather critical of Mr. Parker. I think she found something in the overseer's office. I wasn't listening when she told me about it. I kind of had my head in my research. I don't know, really. I try to let her handle all the money stuff. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
Maybe later.
Very well. I'll just get back to my work then.
Did you have a question about the heinous murder? Did you have a question about the heinous murder?
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
If you ask me, it's one of those actors. Or that horrible painter. Their type is always the cause of violence.
I heard you had a big fight with Ezra a few days ago. Care to explain?
Oh, well, it wasn't that big a deal, really. He wanted more money to pay for repairs on the hotel. I wasn't feeling well that day and lashed out a bit at the poor man. I really should have listened to him more.
What's with all the junk in here?
These are our things. We're just waiting till the war blows over so we can bring them back to the mansion.
Maybe later.
Good luck catching the murderer, Detective. Well now, if it isn't the brave detective. I haven't seen someone with a body like that in far too long.
You're not so bad yourself.
You should have seen me before all this. Red hair that was the envy of every girl and legs for days, darling. I'm sure you'd rather hear some of my stories from the silver screen rather than talk about that nasty murder business.
I must say, you're quite the actress.
What can I say? It just comes naturally. Care to hear some of my stories, Detective?
Have you ever done radio? Your voice is quite enchanting.
Well, darling, play your cards right, and maybe I'll whisper some sweet nothings in your ear. Surely you must be here for my salacious stories of the silver screen.
I must say, I've known flesh and blood girls who aren't half the woman you are.
Keep it up, Tiger.